Hello, it's a Mindset Barista here. Happy weekend about to happen. I hope it is going to be a happy weekend for you anyway, in the current situation. Anyway, I want to talk to you today about the guilt trap. It's a particularly vicious thing, and it's something that's come up in conversation a lot with people recently, actually, but particularly a couple of times this week, which has sort of prompted me to talk to you about it. So, one is with a lady in my network who we sort of identified an interesting relationship with guilt, and another very similar scenario with a client, in fact. So the guilt trap, what is the guilt trap? Well, it's this sort of vicious double-edged sword situation where you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, basically. So I'll give you an example. You're a hardworking parent, you're either in a great job or, your busy career, or you've got your own business and you're a solopreneur. So when you are working really hard and you're doing all the things that you're meant to be doing, you're beholden to other people, clients, your boss, whatever it is, you are so busy that quite often you end up with the guilt that comes from not being able to do some of the things that you want to do for your family. So for example, just something as simple as the school runs. Now, I just need to point out here that tinkly little noise in the background. It's bound to happen. It's my dog. He's eating his dinner. There's so much going on around me today. I'm just going to plow on through, okay? I'm just going to push on through with this. So where was I? Yeah, so you're working really hard. You're trying to grow your business. You're trying to do your job, whatever it is. And because you're so busy and you're so stressed and you're so overwhelmed, there's so much going on, you find that you're feeling guilty because there's stuff that you can't do for the other things that are important in your life, like usually your family. So perhaps you're not taking the kids on the school runs, or when you are getting some downtime, you're not fully enjoying it because you're thinking about what else you have to do. You're thinking about your business, you're thinking about the to-do list, you're thinking about what you've got to do next week, all of that kind of stuff. So there's the guilt around that. But then the other side of the coin of evil is that when you do actually get that downtime, you're feeling guilty because you're not doing the things that you're telling yourself you should be doing. So either, oh my God, I've got all those emails to do, or I've got that report to send, or if you're a solopreneur, I've got all these ideas, I need to do this to scale up my business, I need to get back to this client, and so on and so on and so on. So you can't sit down and chill because your brain just won't let you. Now, where's the joy in that? There ain't none. I'm telling you now, there ain't none. And it's just a vicious cycle. So you can't chill and not feel guilty, and you can't work and not feel guilty. That's just a horrible place to be in. And particularly those of us who go into self-employment, what we tend to do is to do that with the rationale of, well, I want my business to fit into my life and for me to live my life enjoyably and in a free range way, and my life weave into that in the way that I want it to. Dog's barking now, which is just brilliant. But what tends to happen is the opposite, that life gets squeezed into this tiny little space around our business, and that's not how it's meant to be. And particularly if your business is very much, if you don't work, you don't get paid. If you're not there doing the work, you don't get paid. That's extremely difficult. If you are your business, if you are your resource, your commodity, if your time is your commodity, that's very, very difficult. One of the things I've had to get my head around in recent years, and that I help other people to do now, is to change that, so that their business is thriving with an ecosystem of offerings, some of which don't require them to be there. So it's about designing yourself out of the process. to some degree, so that the stuff you are there doing, that you have to be there to do, is potentially a premium offering, or just one of many other strings of income that are coming into your business. But this guilt thing, how do we sort that out? How do we get to grips with that? And I think one of the biggest things that we can do is actually understand what's our priority, what's our values in life, what are your highest values. I talk about highest values a lot. I work with people on highest values a lot. It's something I've had to do. My highest values are connection, joy and growth, and actually also integrity, which is a whole other video. I'll explain what I mean by integrity another day, because it's not necessarily what we all think of as integrity. So now that I've identified what my highest values are, it means that I'm able to prioritise my life according to those values. And it means that I spend as little time as possible, if any, living life that in ways that aligns to my lowest values. And that's a big deal, because if you have established your why, your purpose, your mission, your absolute highest values, and your motivator, the thing that's bigger than you, that's going to keep you going through the tough times and get you, compelled to further this vision of the future that you've got. If you can identify all of those things, you're much more likely to live a life that is guilt-free. Because if one of your values, as an example, is family, then all of a sudden the nature of your business or your career will shift around that value, and it will become your business / career is supporting that higher value of family, as opposed to family being a side dish that you're trying to get to, but this big meal of the business or career is just so overwhelming that you can't get through it. So, weird food analogy there, but it just sort of came to me. So the guilt trap is not a good place to be. And what I would ask you to do is to examine how much guilt you experience on a daily basis, because some of us aren't even aware of it. We just put lots of pressure on ourselves and we don't recognise that that's because of this guilt that we have. So are you in this trap where no matter what you do, you feel bad about it in some way? And do you potentially need to realign your life according to what your highest values are? But of course, the big thing there is you've got to spend some time figuring out what your highest values are. And that's major. That has been a huge shift for me in recent times. When I figured out what those values are, it's enabled me to make sure that I carve out the free range life that I want according to those values. And I can't tell you how liberating that is. It feels so much better when you can say no to things that don't feel good because they don't align to your values. When you can say a big fat yes to the things that do align to your highest values, and you know that that fits into the picture of the world that you want to live in. So, are you in the guilt trap? And what are your highest values? And how do you make your life align to those highest values as much as possible? Subscribe to my channel, please. Don't forget. It's the Mindset Barista channel on YouTube if you're not watching this via YouTube right now. Thank you again for listening. My weird ramblings and musings. I'm probably going to need to edit this video in some way because, well, the dog's still growling in the background in a passive-aggressive manner, wanting to go out. So that's one thing I need to sort out. So I'll do that now, and I'll speak to you soon. Have a fantastic weekend, guys. Bye. Woo! Yeah. Okay, so what do I want to talk about today? What do I want? Hi there. It's the Mindset Barista. It's Friday. Woohoo! Yes. So, Friday. What was I going to talk about? Forgotten already. And another. Oh, that's the dog barking. Brilliant. Do we put this in the outtakes? No, we're going to carry on. So yeah, Happy Friday. It's Friday. It's the weekend. Happy weekend to you. Not that it means much because we're in lockdown, but hey, obviously we're in lockdown. Let's just be okay with that, please. This is not going to work.